Anyway, so thank you all for coming to this official, non-official event. Thank you for being present here, but there's many more people who are not present at the moment, who are aware of this event and have given their apologies. And so this is EDWWIN, the Aotearoa New Zealand Emergency Department Workplace Wellbeing Improvement Network official launch. And so in terms of the origins, where did this come from? I think this came from Mexico City in, I don't know, 2018 or something like that, when I hung up a poster there and Tim saw that poster and we started talking, and it wasn't just me who saw that workplace wellbeing was slightly complex. It wasn't just about being kind or trying to be happy. It was a little bit more complex than that. And Tim was probably the first guy who didn't stare blankly at me when we talked about that. And that was the first sort of piece of research that we'd done, was just a survey of our department. And we found pretty high levels of burnout, which I was concerned about. And then in 2020 we did a nationwide survey just as COVID was getting underway, and once again that found high levels of pretty high burnout levels, but also that our staff value working in teams. This is good, and with a wellbeing focus, and also delivering good care. That's really important for our wellbeing. Those are the three findings from that 2020 work. After that 2020 work, we decided, let's try and do something about this. So we did some intervention research, which I'm still working on, but the actual intervention is wound up. And we found that actually connecting around the country was quite useful, talking to different people in different departments about their experiences. Nowhere's perfect, everywhere's got strengths and weaknesses. And so we thought, well, should we carry this on? And that's where EDWWIN has come from. So we finished the intervention research in April last year, and EDWWIN launched very cautiously in May 2025. Just to see, is this actually a goer? And the fact that we're here in March 2026, I think there is some value in it, potentially. And I happen to be the leader at the moment. I'm a reluctant leader, but I happen to be the leader at the moment. But I've got people like Tim to blame, or Tim, I value his opinion, because he doesn't do anything unless he wants to do it. I think that's my impression of you, Tim. I don't know if that's fair. But also people like Susie Hamilton in Christchurch, and Caitlin Solomon in Hawke's Bay, and other people, Nat Anderson, who's a nurse in Auckland, and Marie Roach from Waikato, and also University of Auckland. All of these people, I value their opinions, and they haven't said stop. I've asked them, should we carry on? And they've said carry on. And it's useful thinking, like Caitlin won the ASIM Wellbeing Award last year for her work at Hawke's Bay. A lot of that was focused on wellbeing, Wellness Week or whatever, just doing cool things in Wellness Week, but also some of it was to do with the work that we've done, with the research that we've done. So trying to listen to the frontline staff to make things happen. And so EDWWIN is really depends upon people's input. It needs to be multidisciplinary, Janine. We need diverse voices from all around the country connecting and sharing what we learn. And it's not about one person, it's certainly not about me. I sort of liken it maybe to the All Blacks, in that it's about the jersey. Why are we doing this? I think we know why we're doing this, because the well-being of our colleagues is so important as humans, but also as colleagues, and also for the well-being of our patients, which is the main reason we come to work, is to look after our patients and whānau and communities. So why we're doing it, I think, is hopefully clear. we need to focus on wellbeing at work and EDs in New Zealand. How we do it is less clear, and that's hopefully what EDWWIN can provide, is a platform to explore, well, how best to do stuff. I don't know how best to do stuff. There's some, stuff that can be done, there's low-hanging fruit, so-called, and other stuff that's very tricky to navigate, and hopefully EDWWIN can be a platform to explore different ways of working in emergency care, but also outside, before emergency care, after emergency care. Hopefully we can, at least in this country, maybe in healthcare, be a little bit forward pioneering, which is never a comfortable situation. There's Vicky. G'day, Vicky. So as I said, this is supposedly the official launch. I think it's probably misnamed, and it probably needs to be done annually, a face-to-face hui. Maybe next year it'll be with SENS, wherever you guys are going to have your conference. But I think face-to-face is useful, and I think what this is where we are now. Doesn't mean we're the finished product. We're building our plane as we're flying it, or building our waka as we're, whatever that is called, paddling it. Unfortunately, we don't have the finished product. We have to go as we're learning. So what's next? I think we don't have infinite resources, particularly time and energy. We've all got finite time and energy, so we just need to keep working steadily. And I'm into road cycling, and if you want to climb a 1,000-metre peak or 1,500-metre peak, make sure you take the very gradual slope, I think, and then you'll get there if you've got enough time. If you try and go too steep, I won't get there. So I think we just need to see this as a long-term thing and just work steadily. I think we need to listen, network, learn from each other. And so that's what I'd like to say. So thank you very much for coming along.